The crying boy painting the curse that wouldn't burn. Would you hang a painting in your home if everyone who owned it lost everything? It all began with a fire, not a raging inferno from the movies. Just a quiet, creeping blaze that started in a small house on the edge of Yorkshire in 1985. By morning, the home was gone. Charred beams, melted furniture, the smell of tragedy clinging to the air. But among the ashes, firefighters found one thing untouched: a framed painting of a young boy, tears streaking his cheeks, staring blankly into nothing. The crying boy. At first, it was just eerie coincidence. But then it happened again and again. Every fire left ruins, every home destroyed, yet the painting remained, glass uncracked, frame spotless, eyes still wet with painted sorrow. Firefighters started whispering, "Take it, the cursed painting." They said anyone who hung it would soon watch their home burn. The tabloids loved it. "Cursed of the crying boy," screamed headlines. The photo of the boy, brown eyes, blue shirt, pale skin, became infamous overnight. But behind the myth was a name, Giovanni Bragolin, an artist who claimed to paint orphans of war. According to rumor, the boy in the painting was real, a child whose parents died in a fire. After that, fire seemed to follow him wherever he went. When Bragolin painted him, it said the boy's spirit attached itself to the canvas. In 1986, a woman named Margaret Williams bought the painting from a charity shop. She hung it proudly in her living room, ignoring her husband's nervous jokes. 3 weeks later, their house caught fire. Everything was gone except the painting. It hung perfectly on the blackened wall, surrounded by ash. When the fire inspector arrived, he went pale. It wasn't the first time he'd seen it. It was the third house this month with the same painting. He quietly told her, "If I were you, I'd burn that thing." Margaret did. She took it to the backyard, doused it in lighter fluid, and struck a match. The fire red. But the painting didn't catch. The flames danced around it, licking the edges, refusing to consume it. Then, a gust of wind blew the fire toward the shed. By morning, the shed was ashes, and the crying boy still stared from the ground, unharmed. That night, Margaret's husband took it to the local priest. The priest refused to keep it. He said, "This image holds pain that doesn't belong to you." They wrapped it in cloth and buried it behind the house. But a week later, it reappeared, hanging back on the same wall where it was before. People began mailing the paintings to newspapers out of fear. The Sun newspaper even ran a campaign encouraging readers to send their crying boy paintings in to be destroyed. They burned hundreds of them together in a giant bonfire. But some swear they saw smoke curling upward, forming the faint image of a childish face weeping through the flames. In 2003, a YouTube collector named David Lark bought an original print at an estate auction. He laughed off the superstition, even posted a video titled "The Cursed Painting Challenge." He hung it above his bed and said, "If I wake up and my house is on fire, at least I'll get the views." The video went viral overnight. Thousands of comments flooded in. "You're crazy. Don't do it. You just invited a curse." 3 days later, his house caught fire. The firefighters found his room completely burned, except for the painting, resting face down, undamaged, the most chilling part. In his final uploaded clip, never made public, David looks at the camera, eyes wide, whispering, he's not crying anymore. He's smiling. Experts have tried to explain it. Some say the print was made on flame-retardant material, explaining its survival. Others say it's pure coincidence. But believers insist the truth is older, darker. They say the boy is a spirit cunty. Rest that he is still searching for warmth, still drawn to fire. And anyone who owns his image gives him a new home. A paranormal investigator once tested a copy under controlled fire. At first, nothing happened. Then the fire extinguisher wouldn't work. The flames leaped sideways toward the camera. When the smoke cleared, the investigator's laptop showed a single corrupted frame. The boy's face, still and expressionless, but with a small tear rolling upward instead of down. They say the crying boy painting brings destruction to those who possess it. But what if the truth is worse? What if it's not the owners who are cursed, but the boy begging for someone to finally burn him and end it? We fear cursed objects because they hurt us, but sometimes the curse is the suffering within, trying to reach out for help.